That experience for me, it was like going into menopause about 100 miles an hour and against a brick wall. I've lived in Whistler for almost 30 years. I have my own company, which I give out a little bit of joy, one scoop at a time with gelato. So I make gelato, and I am a mom of a 16-year-old child, and I love to ski and mountain bike, and I really love the town that we live in here in Whistler. Well, I have a slightly different story than some people with menopause. In 2016, so I would have been 36 years old, or 46 years old. I wish I was 36 years old. 46 years old. I got diagnosed with cancer, and I had a double mastectomy and then went through radiation. And after that, I started doing a drug called tamoxifen. And tamoxifen, what it does, it reduces your estrogen levels, which is quite similar to going into perimenopause. And so that experience for me, it was like going into menopause about 100 miles an hour and against a brick wall. So for me, the first week I started taking tamoxifen, I had hot flashes, and I started even right away feeling depressed and suicidal thoughts and anxiety and lack of energy, and all the symptoms that people have talked about so far, but all at once and all at the same time, coupled with just going through radiation and double mastectomy. So my body was trying to heal and I had no energy. And then all these crazy side effects that happened like a huge wall. So I basically shut down and really struggled for the next couple of years with all those symptoms. And that's how premenopause started for me. Yeah, I felt super lucky to have friends around and people to help me. But in the end, going through a struggle is very lonely and solitary, and you have to figure it out for yourself. And I don't know if I'm totally there, but I'm definitely better than I was. For me, in my life, before I had cancer, I was one of those people that did 110 things in one day and had tons of energy. And that was part of my, personality and how I like to lead my life. And then after I started tamoxifen, I was a totally different person. So I had to try to figure out how to be this other person. And that was really hard for me because I didn't really know how to be this other person and to take time for myself and to not be busy all the time. So that was a huge thing for me. I didn't do, it's funny because I didn't really do anything except that the body knows, and my body just shut down. Like I just couldn't do the things that I used to do before. So I would spend hours in bed and resting and trying to numb my brain by reading or watching TV or listening to audiobooks in some way to just find space. Which wasn't particularly healthy, but I think I just shut down. So that was really hard for me to shut down because that wasn't who I was before. And the change was a really hard thing for me to deal with. So I think I'm still in part of that phase. I'm just a lot better than I was. The other thing that was terrible for me is I stopped sleeping. So I could only sleep about 2 hours a night. So I would sleep 2 hours, I would get up, I would do something for 2 hours, I'd sleep for another 2 hours. And so I was getting about maybe 4 hours if I was lucky. And that went on for 4 years. So with that lack of sleep comes a lot of other things and a lot of mental problems with the lack of sleep. So I really suffered with that. So I tried a couple different things, drugs and meditation and whatever. And I'm better with sleep now, but it's still not 100%. But that just learning how to sleep again was a huge thing for me. I took sleeping pills for a while, for 3 months, to just get my body used to sleeping again. And then I had to try to get off the sleeping pills, which is also quite challenging. But yeah, I have figured out things like I listen to audiobooks and something to slow down my brain before I go to bed, and try not to watch TV after 11 o'clock. and I read when I'm feeling up to it. And I sometimes take a long bath and all those kind of things. But baths are hard because they make you sweat more during the night. So a bath is sort of here and there for me, but sometimes it helps. But yeah, no, I'm not. I think I'm still in the phase of trying to figure out who I am in this new version of me, for sure. Well, I'd like to sleep a whole night through. That would be really awesome. I'd like to figure out how to balance my life a little bit better. I'm either full on or not at all. So I need to find somewhere in the middle. I would also really like to see my confidence come back. That really shook my confidence, and I feel insecure, not worthy. Did I give cancer to myself? All these things that you think about. I should be so happy that I'm cancer free now, and I don't always feel that way. I don't always feel worthy. So trying to feel more worthy and more authentic, and trying to figure what I actually want. Some other people have touched on it, where you've spent your whole life trying to be something for someone else, either your husband or your family or your child. And I haven't really figured out how to be me 100%. So one of the things that menopause has helped me is to just reflect about myself instead of just being busy all the time, to actually have time to think about myself and what I want and what I want to see for my future. And hopefully this will give me time and space to do that. So that's my journey from now on.
Thanks for watching this episode. For more menopause stories like this, subscribe below, and don't forget to click the bell so you are notified when we drop a new episode. Did you connect with this story? Let us know by adding your comment and by sharing and liking it. Shared storytelling helps us learn what's happening to our bodies and reminds us we are not alone.